Hello and welcome to LedU Partners webinar. For those of you that have been on our webinars in the past, I want to say welcome back. And for all you newcomers, thank you for taking a leap of faith and giving us 30 minutes of your day as we talk about how to ramp up your marketing efforts by enabling cross-channel personalization. My name is Chad Collette. I'm the Director of Marketing here at LedU Partners. We're a business and technology consulting company who partners with organizations to transform sales, marketing, and customer service operations and processes that are supported by core technologies including customer relationship management, or CRM, and marketing automation. Now, today's topic of enabling cross-channel personalization is an encore of a live presentation that we did at the CRM UG Summit Conference in Nashville in October. It was so wildly popular that we wanted to make sure to share all this great information with everyone beyond the borders of Nashville. Now, before I introduce our presenter, I have just a couple quick housekeeping items to cover. First off, today's webinar is being recorded and will be available on demand after the live session. All attendees will receive a follow-up email after the webinar is complete with a link to access the presentation. We encourage you to share this with your company and your professional network. To ensure the best audio quality, we have everybody on listen-only mode. But if you have a question or a comment, we do encourage those, so please submit those in the question pane in your GoToWebinar control panel. All right, let's get rolling. You know, today customers are providing your company with more data and more intelligence than you've ever had access to before. And if you're not harnessing the power of all this valuable information to create a personal connection with your customers, then you're really missing out. Not to worry, it's why we're all here today. I want to welcome Jody Gilroy, a senior business analyst with LedU Partners, and the original presenter on this topic at CRM UG Summit. Jody's going to help you understand how marketing automation and CRM can help you create a cross-channel personalization strategy that will really drive results. Jody, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks a lot, Chad, and thanks for the intro, and welcome everybody to today's webinar. Just a quick introduction. As Chad said, I am a senior business analyst with LedU. Prior to joining LedU, I spent 15 plus years working in the marketing field, and the majority of that time working in some type of digital marketing. So I've worked in a variety of industries, including manufacturing, technology, and healthcare. And I've implemented marketing automation and CRM in my past life, and now work with LedU clients to do the same. So I'm excited to talk about this topic today. Okay, so to illustrate the impact of personalization, let me share a personal story of mine. I attended Michigan Technological University, which is located in Houghton, Michigan. For those of you not familiar with Houghton, it's located in the northwest side of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan with access to the largest freshwater lake in the world, Lake Superior. The photo here, to be quite honest, is quite deceiving. As I experienced in my 4 years of study there, high snowbanks and cold weather, with the area typically receiving 200 to 300 inches of snow annually. In addition to its reputation for snow, the university is also well known as one of the top engineering schools in the country. Now, my husband and I both graduated from Michigan Tech, and that's where we met. A few years after graduation, we got married. Okay, Jody, so this is great, but what does this have to do with this presentation? Let me show you. A couple of years ago, I received this from Michigan Tech. It was a personalized mailing from the Michigan Tech Fund asking for a donation. Big deal, right? But look closer. It says, "You made a special connection at Michigan Tech." That's pretty cool, right? They connected the dots between my husband and I. In addition, the funding campaign not only included this personalized direct mail piece, but also an email and a campaign landing page. I love this campaign. Now let's talk about how they did this. Obviously, as graduates, the university had some good data on us when we graduated, like my name, my address, email, phone, and our graduation date. But how in the heck did they make the connection that we were married? We didn't do that while we were in college. Well, they have an alumni magazine, and in each issue, there's a section called Class Notes, where alumni submit news about themselves, such as like new jobs, promotions, marriages, and even baby announcements. Back in the day, I had submitted our wedding announcement to the alumni magazine, and they printed the announcement in one of the magazine issues. That's great. But what I wanted to illustrate is what they did with this information. Sure, they could have just put that in the editorial, but they actually captured this data point on our records. They now have a data point reflecting that Jeff and I were married. When the annual fund marketing teams caught the idea of the Valentine campaign, they grabbed the profile records, set up the query, and they now have a database for direct mail, email, website, landing page campaigns. This is an excellent example of using personalized marketing. But what does it take to do this? Good data, centralized data, and also a creative marketing team to leverage the data to increase engagement. I've heard people say that personalized marketing can be kind of creepy or Big Brother-like. However, the data shows that people want this type of communication. And to be quite honest, that campaign that I just went through with you, that did catch my attention. And yes, I did make a donation. There's so much noise in the marketplace, and getting someone's attention is difficult. So you need to be relevant and personalized in your communication. So here's what the data says. To further illustrate, this is what customers want, and there is value in creating personalized content, as you can see here by these statistics. And as customers, we demand it. Look at this. Look at this recent statistic. This is by Salesforce research. 52% of customers are likely to switch brands if a company doesn't personalize communications to them. 65% of business buyers are likely to switch brands if a vendor doesn't personalize communications to their company. So over half are demanding personalization in their buying choices. All right, so hopefully I've illustrated that personalization is important. Let's take a look at how to get started. The first thing you should do is ask yourself, are you ready to personalize? And this flowchart can aid you in making that decision. But to summarize, there are really 4 key questions to ask yourself. And hopefully, I know this is virtual, but start raising your hands, right? Do you have different types of target markets? Do you have different customer types? Do you offer various products or services? And do you have varied content that you should position to each group? 1, 2, and 3 are essential. Number 4, that's something you'll have to work on for sure. But I think if you answered to 1, 2, and 3, yes, you're ready for personalization. A few slides ago, we looked at a chart that showed that personalization works. But I would say that the majority of my interactions as a consumer are not very personalized. Minus probably Amazon, of course. They know everything that I want to buy. So why aren't more companies doing this? The top reasons include technology, resources, and data. And you may fall into that group today, but want to start taking advantage of a personalization strategy. To do that, here are the key items that you will need. The right tools and connections. So we're going to talk a little bit today about CRM and marketing automation's role in that, and potentially some other technologies as well that will help with that personalization strategy. You need to have a strong understanding of who your buyers are so you can create great customer segments. You need good data in those systems, targeted content and messaging, and finally, resources dedicated to personalization campaigns. Let's take a look at a few of these in greater detail. First is the technology needed to execute a cross-channel personalization strategy. At the heart of that effort are a marketing automation and a CRM tool. You may also need or have other technologies that enhance this effort, including maybe your social platforms, your website systems, such as your content management system, your e-commerce application, among others. These tools will play a role in either the collection or the surfacing of the personalization. While your marketing automation tool will store contact data, it is really the engine for the personalization. It will be the tool that is used to create your targeted list segments, send your email and nurture campaigns, create landing pages, and track website activity. The CRM is the house for the profile data about your customers, who they are, what they purchase, what their sales stage is, etc. And these two will work together in your campaigns. The key to success is having a centralized and connected system to pass information from one system to another. For example, if a new lead is added to your CRM system, that should be synced to your marketing automation system. And when a lead is converted from a web form that you created in your marketing automation system, that should sync to your CRM and create a lead. The data should be connected and up to date to be successful. Who you are personalizing for is also a critical step in the personalization process. You need to really know your customer segments, understand the needs, wants, and desires of each segment, and also understand what the sales triggers are for each segment to understand how they are moving through the sales funnel and becoming sales ready. Why is this critical? Understanding this will help you target the right messaging, the right content at the right time to the right people. One step in doing this is really to start creating who your buyer personas are. Who is it that will have an impact on the purchasing process of your product or your service? Once you have identified the who, the questions here will help you then to further build out the persona profile for your particular buyers. Answer these questions about each of your persona profiles. So this is something typically you might set up on a whiteboard or put in an Excel document or Visio, whatever it may be. Really look at each individual profile and ask yourself these questions. This will help you in creating great personalization. With these personas developed, it will be easier to understand what attributes are important for you to track in your systems. Remember that marketing automation, the CRM tool that we talked about? Lead attributes are really the demographic, geographic, firmographic data sets that you can define your customer segments. These are just a few examples on this slide to get you started. The key here is to determine what attributes are important to you. For instance, does the location of the customer matter to you? What job titles within an organization are likely to make the purchasing decisions for you? What industries do you serve? And of those, does the size of the company help to determine the type of customer you're trying to reach? Ask yourself and define those attributes. As Chad said at the beginning, this age of big data, as I call it, has provided us with much deeper insights into buyer behavior, actions, and patterns. With this data at our fingertips, let's use it to segment our lead database or our customer database and create more personalized campaigns. For example, using a marketing automation tool, you can track the individual web activity for each of the leads in your database. Let's say that you just launched a new product. You want to send out an email communication to further promote the offering. You have the intelligence at your fingertips with this technology to pull a list of all the leads that recently visited that new product page on your website. Or maybe you want to pull those that have visited the page 3 or more times. You can set this query in your system and build that type of list. You could do the same thing based on emails clicked or the type of blog articles the lead is reading. And you can combine that with the attributes that we talked about earlier. New leads in some cases can also be past customers of previous products or services, and that past purchasing cycle intelligence and buying frequency could be used to help you close a sale on your new offering. Just like the lead attributes, the type of behaviors to track will be defined by your particular organization and your buying groups. Another key to success is having a library of content. And this is usually where everyone grumbles, even though Chad has you on mute. I think I can hear some of you. As the creation of content can be extremely time consuming, but it's so vital and important. The definition of content is broad, and the listing here is just a sampling of potential content that could be created. The types of content that you should create will also be dictated by the industry in which you serve and the customer you are reaching. I recommend taking your customer segments and personas and creating a chart that aligns content to each of the defined buying stages for your product and service. This will be a good starting place to know what content you currently have and what you will need to create to execute your personalization strategy. Finally, the last how to be answered in developing a personalization strategy is where. You have defined at this point your customer segments, align content, and now the next piece of the puzzle is where to use your content. Again, the where opportunities are ample, and the listing above are just a few examples of what we're going to talk about today that could execute a personalization strategy. We're going to dive in deeper on several of the topics in the upcoming slides. The most important thing here is, once again, to know your audience and know where you want to engage. This is why step number 1 is so important. The segmentation of customers will help you define demographic as well as behavioral attributes that will help you to define where your customers seek and access information. First, let's talk about email personalization. And of course, we all know we can use tools to dynamically insert someone's name, but we want to discuss personalization in email at a deeper level today. Do you remember when you were excited to get an email? I do. I'm raising my hand here. I remember being in college and rushing to the computer lab to see what was in my inbox. That enthusiasm has certainly waned over the years as the volume of emails have increased, as well as the volume of junk mail that I receive. So as marketers, we need to find a better way to communicate. Does this mean we scrap email, or does it mean we need to get better at it? I believe that email communication has a relevant place in a marketing communication strategy, but in order to be effective, it needs to be a well-executed strategy with a purpose that is focused on driving value to the customer. The use of one-to-one communication or personalization offers you this opportunity. All right, so how do we do this? That all sounds great, right? So in this screenshot from a marketing automation provider, Act On, you can see that an email is being created using dynamic content. The email is being created with 2 different types of messaging depending on the customer type field in the CRM. So if the customer is equal to the title of in this case VIP, then this email will send a 25% offer, while everyone else will receive a message about checking out the company's new products. As marketers, we can create targeted messages but still maintain a 1 email send. This is creating one-to-one messaging at scale. The use of your CRM data combined with intelligence and technology from your marketing automation system provides a terrific opportunity to create email messaging that is relevant, targeted, and appropriate for your defined customer segments. Use information such as past purchases, web page searches on your page, past blog articles read, as well as customer field attributes to create dynamic messaging. Providing your customers with an email that is tailored to them will help drive your engagement rates and also increase the likelihood of maintaining engagement over time. Extending the discussion on email marketing, let's take a look at lead nurturing. This may also be referred to as campaign automation, marketing automation, or drip marketing. There's tons of terms out there. So no matter what you call it, it's defined as the process of developing relationships with buyers at every stage of the sales funnel, including those that are not ready to buy yet, and through every step of the buyer's journey. It focuses marketing and communication efforts on listening to the needs of the prospect and providing the information and answers they need when they need them. So combining a solid understanding of the customer journey along with the availability of technology to automate this process, lead nurturing becomes a very, very powerful tool for today's marketer. And this concept of automated engagement wins. Leads who are nurtured with targeted content produce a 20% increase in sales opportunities. I think all the marketers on the call today would love to be known for increasing sales like that in that way and by that volume, if not more. So lead nurturing can start once a company has a potential client's contact information and can personalize communication with him or her. Lead nurturing may also be a strategy deployed to re-engage or stay connected with current customers as well. So the opportunities are vast. The goal with nurturing should be to provide a personalized series of relevant content over time. In many cases, this nurturing strategy should mirror the customer journey. I think one of the most exciting opportunities this strategy provides is the ability to segment with context. So based on the behaviors and interactions that your contact has with you, you can automate branching to send your contact down different paths. For example, maybe you have an event interest page for an upcoming conference. The landing page and form encourages contacts to register, of course, right? For event updates, speakers, and announcements, etc. The leads generated from this form will be put into a list segment for event interest. You can then establish a lead nurturing campaign for this list with the ultimate goal of turning that interested list into event attendees. The first email that goes out announces the latest speakers, secured for the conference, and also provides a call to action to register for the event. You can create branching in your marketing automation system based on the behaviors of that email. So in this scenario, I'm going to create 3 different branches. One branch for those that did not open the email, a second branch for those that clicked on the call to action but did not fill out the form, and a third branch for those that clicked on the call to action and actually did fill out the registration form. Each of these branches will contain a different secondary message based on the action that they took. I would then continue this personalized messaging based on subsequent behaviors. You can kind of see this here in this screenshot from the marketing automation tool, Click Dimensions. This drag and drop editor lets you easily set up such nurturing campaigns. All right, so honestly, this is my favorite part of a marketing automation tool, and I really, really think this is where you get as personalized as possible based on who they are and what they're doing within a campaign series. So if you're not using this functionality today, this is something you definitely would want to look to as you personalize. All right, so next is landing page personalization. Landing pages in general are just a great tool for many reasons, but it can prove to be a lead generation machine for your company. But it also provides the opportunity for personalization. Let's discuss how. All right, so for example, let's say you have a lead that has registered for an ebook you have on your website. Let's say her name is Robin, and she works for ABC Manufacturing. All this information lives in her lead record in CRM and really in the marketing automation tool as well with the sync systems. When she visits a landing page on your website and clicks a link in a follow-up email you send her, you can target the messaging of the landing page for the next series of content you would like her to download based on her past download history. You can even get very specific into the types of visuals that resonate with her and even custom call to actions. In addition to the personalization benefits, in general, landing pages also offer ample SEO benefits as well as lead conversion opportunities. This process that I'm talking about for personalization is accomplished by using dynamic content again and field merging from your marketing automation and your CRM systems. However, the process here may differ depending on what type of marketing automation software you are using and its capabilities. So that's something you want to look into if this is important to you as you're evaluating your systems. Okay, the next personalization topic is forms. Data shows that when presented with an online form, the ideal range of fields range somewhere, they say, between 5 and 10 fields. I'll disagree with that, and they even here they're saying 7. I think you're really somewhere in the maybe 3 to 5 range. And I know as marketers, we're anxious to learn as much as possible about our leads, and we want it all right away. So with that desire, we tend to build really long forms that tend to result in a lot of blank fields being submitted or customers being scared off by the volume of information you're seeking. So we want a better way to do this. So this enters the conversation of progressive profiling. Progressive profiling uses dynamic forms to gradually gather demographic data and preferences over time. So rather than asking a prospect to fill out a form with 15 required fields, you may only ask 3 or 4 questions initially and use subsequent forms to gather the additional data you need. The benefits of doing this include enhanced lead intelligence over time, increases in form conversion rates, and really a better overall user experience. In this screenshot from the Marketing Automation Provider Act-On, you can see an example of progressive profiling. You know, essentially during the first visit, a visitor arrives and they're going to ask name and email address. When she returns, the form will dynamically replace the original questions with new ones, again, further enhancing the profile. So over time, the picture of your prospect is filled out and enhanced. Progressive profiling no doubt takes some discipline and patience, and it is very tempting to ask everything at once, but being strategic about the questions being asked and making sure they are relevant to the buyer's journey will not only increase conversion rates, but will also help you identify sales triggers as buyers move further down the sales funnel. Okay, we'll touch upon the concept of website personalization. So according to the statistic, 74% of online consumers get frustrated with a website when content appears that has nothing to do with their interests, right? I think we've all been in that boat. So you can use technology as well to create personalized messaging on your website for your customer segments. You know, strive to serve up text, images, product and services, calls to action, landing pages that are relevant based on the data you have collected about your leads and customers. Ultimately, you're striving to create one-to-one communication in all aspects of your marketing, whether that be on your website, in your emails, in our calls to actions, landing pages that we've talked about. All right, so we are at that end of the call today, so I'm going to wrap up here very quickly. And, you know, to wrap up this discussion, you know, this campaign done by Coca-Cola, I think just further illustrates our desire as humans to want to engage in a one-to-one personalized conversation with companies. We are individuals with unique wants, needs, and desires. And in many cases, if not a lot of cases, we're telling you what those are through our digital interactions today. We now want you to take that and make our experiences unique and more engaging. I challenge you to walk away from today's presentation with a goal of finding one way to make a more personalized marketing approach by leveraging either the technology available to you or looking into technology that can help you to do this. If you're using the technology, try a couple campaigns, analyze that effort, learn from it, and expand on it to create additional experiences for your customers. All right, and then just one final note, I just want to mention, you know, LedgeView as a consulting company, as Chad mentioned, we offer marketing consulting services, and those are around the pillars of marketing technology strategy and planning, implementations, and also training and support. You know, we really assist our clients in defining what their strategy should be, selecting appropriate technology that is in alignment with their goals, and then integrating that technology with their CRM systems to create more enhanced marketing strategies. All right, and I think that's it for me. I'm going to turn the call back over to Chad to just wrap up really quick.
All right. Thank you very much, Jody, for all the great information and amazing presentation. And thank you, everybody, for giving us the time today. If you missed it in my introduction, we did record today's presentation, and we'll be sending everyone a link to access this webinar on demand. This email will have my contact information, so if you do have any questions that arise at a later date, please feel free to contact us. We also encourage you to visit our website at ledgypartners.com for additional on-demand resources that cover sales, marketing, customer service, CRM, and much, much more. And we hope to see you again on future webinars. You can visit our news and events page at ledgypartners.com for all of our upcoming webinars that we have slated. I want to thank everybody for joining us today and make it a fantastic day.